Hey y'all, welcome to the Fillin Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. So it's been a while since I've been able to record a video, and I do apologize for that. However, I have been looking in the market and I've been trying to keep up with the way things have been moving, especially Tesla. But as of now, we're looking at AMD. We closed at 215.98. Interesting that we've made a pre-market high of 219.41 only to come down. Kind of like trading in this zone here as of now. I had support at around the 216.83, so I'm going to mark a new level here. Why? Because I say it often, I follow where price is gathering, right? So where the body of those candles and what stopped us? That's the question. What stopped us in that area? For some reason, something has stopped us here, kind of like here and at this area here. So I kind of need to remember that 217.38. So let's look back to the upside, breaking back above that. We could possibly have trouble again at the 217.81 and breaking that level 217.98. Now breaking that 217.98, possibly have trouble again somewhere around the 218.43. And should we break that 218.70 and breaking that level, we have the ATR trail and stop at 218.92. Now, breaking that 218.92 for AMD, we could very well come back to this level here of 219.40. And I need to remember that. Why? Because I said often something stopped us in that area. Now, back to the downside. Well, let's say we break above that 219.40. We do have another level here of around 219.89. And if we should break that 219.89, the next level I have is around the 221.49. However, we could very well get stopped out in this area here. Keep that in mind. So if you're trading AMD today, those are possible areas of resistance. Now, back to the downside. Let's say we break under this 217.38 level we just marked. It kind of puts us under the 5 EMA, that 20 EMA, and the 50 EMA if you're using the moving averages. Now, that 217.16 is kind of like where our 50 EMA is as of now. And if we were to mark that, just say we didn't use the moving averages and kind of mark where the body of the candles are, which is important for me, right? So if we did not, use the moving averages, we can still kind of have an idea that we're kind of in that area, right? I just wanted to point that out. Another teachable moment. Let's say that, right? So AMD today under 217.08. We could very well come back to 216.83. Breaking that, we can use that 200 EMA at 216.64. Now breaking that, I'm going to mark a level here. Why? I immediately go to price gathered in this area here for a reason, right? So we could very well come back to that 216.07, breaking that 215.86. Should we break that, we could very well come back to that 215.16. I'm going to mark this level here. Why? Because something held us in this area here around the 214.55. That could be a support area for us, and if we should break that, we can come back to the 214.14 for AMD today. So we just marked up AMD, basically support and resistance. And again, I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places could be, right? So that's very important. We're now looking at Meta. We closed at 661.53, and as you can see, price has just been gathering in this little sideways movement here. This candle is very interesting from yesterday. So we're moving sideways. Are we going to go back to the upside or back to the downside? It would not surprise me to see us back in the downside, on the downside. Let's say that. So where the trouble places as of now, resistance around 665.79. We can say that our support as of now 662.82. So that's the zone that we're trading in. If we should break back to the upside above 665.79 for Meta, 667.38, 669.41, 671.64, 673.45, and 675.90, and breaking that 677.96. There's a few layers of resistance there up to the 678.70, and then here at 679.85 and 680.96. Those are possible areas of resistance for Meta. Now, to the downside, let's say we break under the 662.82. I say it often, y'all, something stopped us or held us in this area right here, right? Body candle, wick candle, wherever we met at this area here of 661.50. So breaking that level, we have the 50 EMA, ATR trailing stop, and a level here at the around the 659.89 for Meta. So if you're trading Meta today, breaking under this 661.50, we could very well come back down to the 659.89. There's a lot of support in this area. However, breaking that brings us back to 659.07, 657.64, 655.22, and breaking that 654.04. Should we break that? 651.55, and breaking that 650.02, which kind of puts us where that our 200 EMA is, which is around the 649.12. So if you're trading Meta today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. Again, not financial advice. Again, it would not surprise me to see us kind of back at this 645.32 area, which is under the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart for Meta. So I said often, y'all, mark your levels. Once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade, get out. Make sure you have a reason for getting in the trade, right? So we are now looking at NVIDIA. We closed at 183.38, and we've made a pre-market high of 184.95. So it got rejected here. Y'all see we're at a level we kind of knew we could have trouble at that 185. We got rejected there, had some reversal candles there, only to come back down. As of now, support 183.92. You see we had some, right there, 183.92. Let's look back to the upside. We'll need to get back above 184.26 and breaking that level. 184.48. Again, 184.67. Breaking that 185. Breaking that 185, which is the high here, right? We could possibly have trouble. 185.16. 185.16, and should we break that level, the next level I have is around 185.60. Keep in mind we can get stopped out here. Breaking the 185.60, possibly have trouble again. 185.87, 186.23, breaking that 186.23 for NVIDIA today. 186.55. Those are possible areas of resistance for NVIDIA. What's interesting, I want to point out really quick, I have this 185 area marked for resistance, and y'all see we came up to 184.95, very close to where we kind of knew we could possibly have trouble, right? I wanted to point that out. Just simple support and resistance in my opinion. Now, breaking this level of 183.92, we could very well come back to around 183.74. Y'all see that 50 EMA is right at a level we have marked here at 183.44. I love to see that. Breaking that ATR trailing stop is really close to a level that we have marked. I like to see that. Around the 183.24 is the ATR trailing stop. I have 183.30. Very close, right? So breaking that, it just shows us, so it goes to show that if we're not using the moving averages, we could very well just use our support and resistance lines. Again, I said often what works best for you, coming up with the strategy that works best for you, right? So breaking the 183.34 NVIDIA today, possibly 183.05, 182.93, 182.71, 182.56, 182.28, 182.12, or 182.14 is where it was. And then if we should break that, 181.99, 181.89, and again 181.73. Breaking that brings us to the 200 EMA around the 181.57. Those are possible areas of support and resistance for NVIDIA. I say it often, y'all, not financial advice. Mark your levels. Once it goes against your why, get out. So we're now looking at the SPY. We closed at 684.39 after bouncing off of this 200 EMA on yesterday back to the upside. We've made a pre-market high thus far at the 686.50, and y'all see that ATR trailing stop was at that 686.56. That's why I love to use those, right? So as of right now, we got rejected there, only to come back down to this area of support, that 685.58. So we're kind of trading in the zone. Resistance still around the 686.08. So breaking that, we can still have trouble around this 686.30 631 area here. I say it often, something stopped us in this area for the SPY. Now breaking that, we could possibly come back to the 686.51. Breaking that 686.51, the next level for the SPY is around the 687.23. Breaking that level, the next level is around 688.15. Keep in mind, we can get stopped out anywhere in this area here. Now, breaking this level of 688.13, we could very well come back to 689.02, and again at 689.45. Breaking that 689.45 for the SPY, we can continue making new highs, and the SPY has been interesting, let's say that. Now back to the downside, breaking under the 685.58, we can come back to around the 685.21, breaking that 684.88, and should we break that, I'm going to mark this because something stopped us, held us up, or somewhere in this area here of 684.47. Breaking that, we have the next level around 684.27, not very far away. Should we break that for the SPY, 683.75, 683.23, 682.96, and again here at 682.73, that is where our 200 EMA is as of now. Keep in mind, yesterday we went up, came down, tried to go back up again, only to come back and bounce off of this 200 EMA. It would not surprise me to see us back at this 682, bouncing off of that 200 or breaking through that 200 EMA. Again, not financial advice, so mark your levels, and once it goes against your why, your reason for getting in the trade, get out, right? Live to trade another day. So we're now looking at Tesla. And I say it so often, y'all, Tesla does what Tesla does, right? So we closed at 450, 453. And what's interesting is that we're back at the 456 range for what reason, right? Tesla does what Tesla does. We made a high of 456.95. Y'all see we're right at a level. Let me see if I can make this. My Tesla and SPY lines are very congested, right? So we're kind of right at a level we knew we could possibly have trouble. We've been there once and we've been there twice. That 456.95 was a resistance area for us, only to come back down. What I do need to mark is this level here. Why? Because something stopped us, held us up, or caught us in this area here. So where are the trouble places for Tesla? Let's look back to the upside. We will need to get back above 455.02. Guess what? We could possibly have trouble. I look here, something held us up or stopped us in this area. Let's say here. Around the 455.59 and breaking that level for Tesla, 455.92, 456.58, 456.93. Now, should we break that, 457.97 is the next level that I have. However, we could very well get stopped out in this area here. Now, breaking that for Tesla today, we could possibly have trouble again, 458.24, and breaking that 459.07. Keep in mind, we could get stopped out in this area here. Again, not financial advice. Now, breaking that 459.07, we could possibly have trouble, 459.86, and breaking the 459.86, 461.13, and breaking that 462.14. Those are possible areas of resistance for Tesla. Now let's look to the downside. Now under this level here of 454.30, we could very well come back to, I'm going to mark, if we look at the candle here, or the bottom of this candle, and where these are here, something held us up or stopped us, or that's kind of like an area I need to remember. Why? Because we've been here once and a few times over here. I always try to look and see what stopped us, right? So under this 453.63 area, we can come back to 453.29. So this could be a strong area of support. There's an ATR trailing stop, 50 EMA, and a level that we have marked here. So this could be a strong support area for Tesla. Let's say it again, 453.63. I need to remove that. So 453.63. And again here at 453.29, again 452.93, breaking that level right here, 452.65, 200. That's our 50 EMA and a level here we have marked. So that would put us under strong area of resistance, support, in my opinion, right? Under the 452.55, breaking that 452.08, breaking that level 451.60. Should we break that, I'm going to mark a level here. I go to the body of the candles here. Something held us, kept us in this area here. 1, 2, 3. 3. So I'm going to remember that 450.91 area. That's an area of support around that area, breaking that level. 450.05, and if we break the 450.05 area for Tesla, 449.31, 448.87, 448.29, and breaking that 448.29, 447.46, which brings us under this area here. So if you are trading Tesla today, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully. Make sure you have a plan before going into your trade. So again, it would not surprise me to see us back for Tesla at this 441, especially if we break under this 444.26 area. We could very well come back to the 200 EMA at the 441.14. Again, not financial advice, just my opinion, right? So again, this is what I see when I look at the market, y'all. I say it so often. There's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you and to make sure that you have a plan before going into the trade. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.